In Mexico, we have this meme, which is human giving bad advice to people. If you had to fill in the gap, what kind of advice would you give people before just telling them goodbye, folks?
Oh my God.
Stuff that only exists in legends and bedtime stories. Talking tigers, spaceships, and magic swords can make a man as mighty as a god.
How are you?
Hi, guys.
Hi.
How are you?
Very good, very good.
Hi, Travis. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing well. How are you?
Hi, Nick. How are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Thank you for talking to me today. And I'm really excited to talk to you about He-Man and Adam, because I think being a good person and kindness is often so overlooked in what you need to be a hero. How did you find strength in Adam through those special traits instead of just focusing on the physical part of it?
I mean, to be honest, it was the thing that Travis and I, our wonderful director, connected on first. You know, it was very important to me in undergoing and taking on a big sort of larger-than-life superhero that I could have a very human way into the character. And I think Adam is more human than most. I mean, he's so vulnerable. He really sees the best in people. He values communication and openness, and I think that is a superpower in of itself.
Teela is a character that many people will relate to, but especially the eldest daughters. When working on her, how was it for you creating a character that takes on the responsibilities, that assumes more things that she isn't supposed to when she is younger?
That's a really, really, really great question. That's exactly what excited me about playing Teela, was exploring that dynamic that she had and the fact that she had to grow up really fast and take care of herself. It's a double-edged sword, because on one hand, you know, the fact that she had to grow up fast is what has made her so strong. So in a way, it's kind of serving her in her life to be so independent. But on the other hand, you know, she has a lot of resentment for the fact that she's had to take on that position before she was ready to. So playing with that duality in her was really interesting.
It's great talking to you, because I think you're a person that respects greatly the universe of He-Man and Masters of the Universe, but you're also someone that has a lot of experience with animation. So I want to ask you, how did you balance it to bring those things that you learn from animation into a world that's made of live action, but that also takes from a universe that most people know through cartoons?
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of, these things are kind of weaving together in odd ways. You know, my introduction to He-Man were the toys, but more than that, really the cartoon is where I fundamentally fell in love with He-Man and Masters of the Universe. So then to take that, turn that into live action, coming from a perspective of an animator, it's kind of an interesting point of view. I mean, one of the things that, you know, I've been working in animation for essentially my whole life, and one of the things that animation forces you to do is that you need to have forethought, you need to have planning, you need to have a vision of what it is that you want to do. In stop motion, specifically, you can't shoot any coverage. You have to know exactly what you want. And so I brought that same point of view to the making of this film. There's so many visual effects in the film, there's so much practical and special effects in the film, and prosthetics and everything. I wanted to make sure there was no effort wasted. So we storyboarded this film within an inch of its life, just like I was making an animated film. And that's the thing that allowed us to be disciplined, to be focused, but then it also created room for play.
Idris, your character is on the other side of that coin, and you're playing with a character that holds so much guilt and the responsibility, and seeing what her daughter had to take on. So how was it for you taking the role of a father that not only tries to protect her kid, but that also sees what she had to become?
Yeah, I mean, it hit home for me being a father, and you know, also really attracted me to the role, because it wasn't just like some kick-ass soldier. There was a real depth within this character and some complexities. Sometimes men find it really difficult to admit their failures, not to just people, but to their own children, just to admit like, hey, I did you wrong, I didn't look after you how I should have. And I just found that compelling, really compelling. I got to play against Camila, and we got to explore this as actors. It was a lot of fun. And then I go and kick about 6 men, you know, so it was a lot of fun.
There's something so beautiful about this world, which is, it feels very much like a playground with the sets and the props, and besides the VFX. So what was the thing that made you feel like you were entering a world where everything was possible?
I mean, truthfully, as you just said, the sets. I mean, we had an amazing production designer. These sets were so massive and detailed. And even in my bedroom on Earth, there was about 150, I'm sure even more, paintings that everyone had illustrated, that Adam has illustrated over the years. There was never a set that I went onto that I didn't feel like I was almost on location in Eternia.
Well, I think it's a tricky thing. You know, so many VFX extravaganzas, it's oftentimes just a character against a green screen or like a tennis ball on a stick. So that's really challenging. I think anytime you can help an actor out by giving them something that they can feel, that they can see, that they can respond to, it actually helps makes the performances more authentic. And so we built amazing sets for this movie. I mean, Eternia doesn't exist, but we built as much of Eternia as we could. We had incredible sets, amazing costumes and props. I think all those things help an actor kind of feel the moment, be in the moment, and you know, give us an authentic experience. And I think that comes through in the movie. I mean, look, I'm very, very blessed in this film that I had an extraordinary cast, like amazing actors in this film who fully committed to the character and to the absurdity of what we were putting on screen.
It's true, because the props were so specific in this film. These weapons, which are supposed to be our arms.
Yeah, our arms, yep. You know what I mean? Like, I was so fascinated by the process and how the team, the stunt team, and Travis's vision really came to life, you know? You loved it, right?
I loved it, yeah. I had so much training leading up to the film, and most of that was sword training. There was a little rifle training in there because, you know, my rifle staff at the beginning.
In Mexico, we have this meme, which is human giving bad advice to people. If you had to fill in the gap, what kind of advice would you give people before just telling them goodbye, folks?
Be cool, everyone. Be kind.
Hasta la próxima. Se despide He-Man deseándoles buena suerte y buena salud.
I think that was the main message that I got from He-Man, from the cartoon. And the main thing that He-Man would always stress is like, be kind to people, be compassionate, be empathetic. And really, fundamentally, that is a core part of what the movie's about. In Adam, we've got this guy who's just an empathetic person, and that really is his superpowers.
Oh my God. I'd say something that has really stood me in good stead over the years is just put one foot in front of the other.
Hasta la próxima. Se despide He-Man deseándoles buena suerte y buena salud.
I think sometimes when you're looking at the mountain, you have to climb ahead. It's very, very overwhelming, but if you just focus on the next step, then eventually you'll get to your location. And that's kind of a mantra that I try and live my life by.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much for talking to me, and congratulations on the film.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have the